It's 3 a.m. You're exhausted. You're leaning over the bassinet watching your beautiful sleeping angel when suddenly they do it. Maybe they let out a sharp, fake cough. Maybe they start shaking their head back and forth like they're at a tiny heavy metal concert. Or maybe they just stare into the dark corner of the room with wide eyes, looking at absolutely nothing. And then they laugh. Your first thought, the house is haunted. Your second thought, is my baby broken? Welcome back to Baby's Mind Secrets. If you've ever found yourself frantically typing, "Why does my baby smiling while asleep?" into a search engine in the middle of the night, you are in the right place. Today, we are decoding the 10 weirdest behavior patterns parents see in babies. We're going to look past the creepy and the confusing to find the brilliant biological blueprints underneath. By the end of this video, you won't just be less stressed. You'll realize that your baby's weirdness is actually a sign of a high-speed, high-performance brain under construction. Let's look at the first behavior that makes every new parent hold their breath. 1. The Moro Reflex, the falling startle. You finally get them to sleep. You lay them down with the precision of a diamond thief. And suddenly, their arms fly out, their legs kick, and they look like they've just fallen off a skyscraper. The science. This is one of the most primitive survival instincts we have. Historically, if a baby felt a change in altitude or a sudden loss of support, they needed to reach out and grab onto their mother. Your baby's nervous system is so sensitive that even a slight tilt in your arms triggers a self-preservation alert. Their brain thinks they are falling into the abyss, when really they're just being moved to a crib. It's a sign that their brainstem is functioning perfectly. 2. Staring into the void. The ghost hunter. This is the one that convinces parents they have a supernatural visitor. Your baby will lock eyes with a blank patch of ceiling or a dark corner and track something moving across the room. The science. Babies aren't seeing ghosts. They are seeing edges and contrast. In the first few months, an infant's vision is around 2600ths. They can't see colors or depth well, but they can see where light meets shadow. That ghost in the corner, it's likely just the shadow cast by a curtain or the high contrast line of the crown molding. Their brain is visual mapping. They are literally learning how to process 3D space. They stare because their brain is downloading the geometry of your house. 3. Shaking the head side to side. Your baby is sitting in their high chair or playing, and they suddenly start shaking their head no vigorously. They might even do it until they look dizzy. The science. This is a vestibular seeking behavior. Inside the ear, the vestibular system controls balance. Babies discover that moving their head quickly creates a fuzzy or spinning sensation that is actually quite stimulating to their developing brain. It's like a tiny built-in roller coaster. They aren't saying no to you. They are practicing sensory input. They are learning how to regulate their own sense of balance. We're about halfway through our list of weirdness, and I have to ask, what is the strangest thing you've ever Googled about your baby? Why does my baby smell like old cheese? Why is my baby's poop neon orange? Can babies see into the future? If you've ever felt like your search history could get you institutionalized, welcome to the club. Here at Baby's Mind Secrets, we're dedicated to giving you the scientific why, so you can put down the phone and get some sleep. If you want to keep unlocking the mysteries of your tiny human's mind, hit that subscribe button. Join our community of expert-level baby watchers. Give this video a like. If your baby has ever done something so weird, you had to record it to prove it to the doctor. And tell us in the comments, what's your baby's signature weird move? Let's normalize the chaos together in the comments. 4. The sudden quiver. the shudder. You're playing, and suddenly your baby's whole body quivers for 2 seconds, like they just walked through a cold draft or ate something sour. The science. This is usually due to an immature nervous system. In infants, the insulation around their nerves, called myelin, is still developing. Sometimes a signal from the brain leaks or gets amplified, causing a sudden harmless muscular quiver. Think of it like a glitch in a brand new computer's wiring. As long as it's brief and they don't lose consciousness, it's just the brain testing the circuits. 5. Breath-holding spells. Your baby gets upset. They open their mouth to cry, and then nothing. They stop breathing. Their face turns red, or even blue, and they just freeze for several seconds. The science. This is terrifying for parents, but psychologically, it's an involuntary reflex of the autonomic nervous system. It often happens when a baby is startled or frustrated. Their body forgets to exhale in the middle of a big emotional surge. While it looks like a medical emergency, most babies reset within seconds. It's a sign of a very passionate, highly reactive emotional system. 6. Rhythmic head banging, the self-soother. You put them down for a nap, and you hear thump, thump, thump. You look in, and your baby is rhythmically banging their head against the crib slats or the mattress. The science. Up to 20% of healthy babies do this. It's a form of rhythmic movement disorder, which sounds scary, but is actually a self-soothing mechanism. The repetitive motion and sound mimic the rhythmic thump-thump of the mother's heartbeat they heard in the womb. It helps them tune out the world and transition into sleep. They aren't trying to hurt themselves. They are creating a calm zone in their own head. Undis 7. The fake cough. Your baby isn't sick. They don't have a cold, but they let out a dry theatrical ahem and then wait for you to look at them. The science. This is a massive social milestone. Around 5 to 7 months, babies realize that their sounds have power. They discover that a cough gets a big reaction from mom or dad. They are practicing intentional communication. They aren't faking an illness. They are hacking your attention. It's a sign of developing theory of mind, the realization that they can influence what you are thinking and doing. 8. Arching the back, the banana pose. You're feeding them or holding them, and they suddenly stiffen and arch their back like a bow. The science. This one is a mix of biology and communication. If it happens during feeding, it's often a physical response to reflux. The acid hurts, so they stretch to alleviate the pressure. However, if they aren't in pain, it's often a gross motor milestone. They are testing their extensor muscles. They've discovered they can move their spine in a new way, and they're simply practicing their range of motion. 9. The sleep grunt, the barnyard baby. You expected your baby to sleep like a silent little lamb. Instead, they sound like a goat, a pig, and a rusty door hinge all at once, grunting, snorting, and squeaking. The science. Babies are primarily nasal breathers, and their nasal passages are tiny. Any little bit of dust or milk creates turbulence in their breathing. Furthermore, their digestive system is still learning how to move gas and stool. That grunting is often just them practicing the muscular coordination needed to poop. They aren't struggling. They're just working the machinery. 10. Jerking awake, myoclonic jerks. They are deeply asleep, and suddenly their whole body twitches violently for a split second. The science. These are myoclonic jerks. Even in adults, as the brain transitions from wakefulness to sleep, the sleep switch can sometimes flicker. In babies whose brains are growing at an exponential rate, these twitches are often signs of neural integration. The brain is filing away the day's movements and memories. It's like a computer defragmenting its hard drive. So now that you know your baby isn't haunted or broken, what do you actually do when these behaviors happen? Here is the baby's Mind Secrets Handling Guide. Step 1. The calm observation. Before you panic, watch for 30 seconds. Is the baby in distress? Are they breathing normally? Most weird behaviors are rhythmic and brief. If the baby is calm or goes right back to playing, you can be 99% sure it's a developmental quirk. Step 2. Feed the schema. If your baby is head shaking or banging, they are seeking sensory input. Give it to them in a safe way. Use a baby swing, dance with them, or give them more tummy time floor play. If you fill their sensory tank during the day, the weird behaviors at night often decrease. Step 3. Record for the pro. If a behavior truly worries you, don't just describe it to your doctor. Film it. A 10-second clip of a shudder or a breath-holding spell is worth 1,000 words to a pediatrician. Step 4. Red flag check. While these 10 patterns are usually normal, always consult a professional if the behavior is accompanied by fever, lethargy, a change in skin color that doesn't resolve immediately, movements that cannot be interrupted by your touch or voice. Your baby is a biological masterpiece. Every weird twitch, stare, and grunt is a tiny piece of the puzzle that makes them who they are.